Welcome to Secret Genius, where I'm a fucking genius and I'm telling you what to do and what's wrong with you. And I'm not that much of an asshole, but today I feel like being one. Because I'm making decisions, right? Why? Because, you know what? I listen to all types of music, but except country. I like all types of food, but, pizza has to be like my favorite. And also, I don't really like talking about myself because I'm kind of shy. But once you get to know me, I'm actually kind of a character, resemblance of an actual human being. Do you know why we're always so vague with these freaking icebreakers? It's because of several reasons. Ah, shit! This whole thing is just falling apart. Okay, just give me a second here. You're either anxious that your fear of being judged, or just some other reason that some behavior in between yourself is just, I don't know if I should be truthful here because I don't want to be weird. Or you absolutely have no opinion whatsoever on whatever they're asking. Which begs the question, why are these icebreakers if you don't have an opinion on it? Mostly everyone listens to music, right? Or so I think. But if you don't, why not just say you don't have an opinion? I don't listen to music. Because that's weird, right? Because, we want to be fitting in with the frickin' crowd! This worked so well yesterday. Thinking hurts. Thinking hurts for a lot of people. That's why when you go on social media, their About Me section is probably blank as fuck. It's because it hurts. It fucking hurts to think about yourself, to actually define yourself, to actually decide what type of music that you like. Or, you know what? You're just afraid. You're either censoring yourself, or you don't give yourself enough credit with thinking and actually being able to create something. You're just really good at fucking consuming, you fucking ego-fearing maniac. You're afraid of being hurt by someone else's thoughts, man. That's like a superpower that everyone else has except you, right? Oh my gosh, what will they think of me? I'm so paralyzed. This fear, this anxiety. But if you do have social anxiety in such a way that you can't really, treat it, go seek some help. But at least for the majority of us, I'm thinking we're all just a little too good at consuming and not really great at creating. This is the great, social Marxist perspective. Like, oh, these Americans, that's French. Whatever. Pretend it's just not American. Oh, the Americans are so good at eating and consuming their consumer products because all of it is, it creates profits. And yes, they're correct, and you're living frickin' proof of it. Living proof of it. 1984, fuck 1984. George Orwell's probably having a fucking wet dream right now. Look at this. We've censored ourselves. We watch ourselves. It isn't Apple. We blame Apple about our privacy. Like, oh my god, if you didn't want your frickin' privacy violated, why don't you just not have an iPhone? Oh, wait, no, because you have to be connected to the world nowadays. Yeah, you do. So fucking get over it. You're giving up some of your data. Just deal with it. Stop complaining. Go actually do something with your life. Instead of complaining about some bullshit in the fucking Middle East, why don't you go fix the fucking, I don't know, your leaky faucet? I'm still fat. I need to lose weight. That was no satisfying rip to that. This is a cycle of mediocrity, otherwise known as 90% of us, right? At some point, at all points, we feel sick, right? In our country, in our world, at some point, when we're unhappy, we're sick. And what's the best way of curing sickness? It's about medicine. It's about taking something to fix it. We consume. And this is kind of built into us, right? If we're bored, if we're kind of alone with our thoughts at night, what do? We cleanse that uncomfortableness with consumption, whether it through social media, Snapchat, all that shit, or just some YouTube videos. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying every time, if you done with it, you're still kind of sick. Right? If you're not sick, you're kind of sick. We're in this perpetual sick kind of thing. Why? Because all of a sudden we still fucking force ourselves to go to a job 8 hours a day. That makes us sick. Which makes us consume more. It isn't mindful, it's habit. It's a tragic habit. It's freaking behavior, conditioning, addiction. That's what we've been doing to ourselves. We just don't do shit anymore. We're too afraid. Because we don't know what it's like to create something anymore. We just know how to criticize because it's so easy. We see the product of being watched, of being consumed. I see these girls that are like sitting at a baseball game on their phones taking selfies of themselves. You fucking idiots. It's you. That's you. And have you guys even ever sat through an entire freaking baseball game? I have several times, and I had to pay attention because I was behind a camera. The ones on the first baseline, I had to follow the batter and then the pitch, the batter and the pitch, and I had to pay attention because that was my job. I know what that's like. It freaking sucks. If I had a cell phone, I would be on it all the time too, right? Unless you love baseball, that's totally fine. By the way, we had this whole thing called cyberbullying at one point. It's not cyberbullying anymore. It's just group hive mind mentality. You know, if someone says someone's doing something wrong, if someone says this is funny, and 2 or 3 other people say it's funny, that must be funny. I have to say it's funny too, or else I'll be left off the train. I have to get these likes. You know, I have to be the first one to post this. And my group of friends to say it's funny. And someone else posts it after I did, oh man, that's old school, that was yesterday, right? That meme, I mean, what's a meme's lifespan nowadays? Like 30 seconds? Fuck, right? The tragic habit. Right? So how do we freaking rid ourselves of this bullshit? Right? We think. Of course, that's what everyone says. That's what every freaking video says, is to think more. How do you think more? No one ever tells you why, or everyone tells you why to think. No one tells you how to think, especially if it's someone living the tragic habit. They don't know how to think. And it's very hard for them to think. And this was the great fucking tragedy of it. Even though after watching this video, someone's going to share it, and they're going to say, this guy speaks the truth. Listen to him. Whoa, real, oh, man, I feel real, you know? This is what living them actually feel like. I'm going to share it with others. That's exactly what's going to happen. You know what? And you're going to forget about it. You know, I'm just doing this for myself, because I'm a fucking genius, and I love talking to myself. You know, think. How do you think? This is where the not culty part comes in. Wi-Fi B5, right? I want you to ask yourself, why 5 times a day? 5 times in a day, just 5 times. Anytime, random time, about anything. And you have to have a because. That's so dumb. It is fucking dumb. It's why fucking 5-year-olds do it nonstop. Why? Because that's the only time in their lives they actually consider asking the freaking question why. We're all just told afterwards to be quiet. And it's so much easier to do that now. We just hand them a phone, right? Or just pop them in front of a television. We don't tell kids to climb up trees because it's dangerous. We don't let them learn anymore because everything's told to us. We just accept it, right? That sounds like some freaking conspiracy theorist, but you know, it's not conspiracy when it's happening, you know? Like, the fucking rest of this shit goes. Okay. This is how easy it is. Why do I like pizza? I like pizza because, I swear to God, you go to your next icebreaker and you add a because to any part of your answer, you'll get stares from the eyes of the room. Not because you're weird, you're different, but because you have an opinion. And you backed it up with something. This guy's different because he freaking thinks. I get looks sometimes because I ask questions. Because I say certain things. Not because they're weird questions. It's just that there are. That I somehow am so willingly and freely freaking being creative. Oh, it's too much, man. Whoa. Dude, chill out. You're thinking too much. Fuck you, man. You don't even know what thinking is. Country. I listen to everything but country because... Answer it. I am. You know, when was it so bad to define yourself? Now it's all about, you know, like the most epitome of like pretty much the definition of anti-culture, whatever the fuck you call it, hipsterdom, right? It's pretty much rejection of anything. Anything, everything. I mean, what do you get? You get this eclectic sort of just people who shop at thrift shops. You're running away. Running away from something that you already are. We're humans. We love to classify. We love to create. And we love to define. Now we're beyond hipsterdom to the point where we're so alike. The one thing we all share is fear of ourselves, of hurting our own little minds, of thinking, I'm not smart, but I have the entire internet at my fingertips. I did something stupid. Oh my God, my life is over. Fuck you. Alright? Fuck you. Those girls in the fucking baseball field, they're gonna wake up. That's probably gonna be the best moment of their lives. It's probably gonna be the worst moment. But they're gonna be defined by it. And they're going to either choose to be defined positively by it or negatively by it. Here's the difference between that and you. They did something, even though it was unintentional. They did something and they were judged for it, and they're going to learn from it because they have to. And just by doing that, this little light bulb is going to go off in their head. Think. Right? Think. We all have the freaking capability, right? We gotta create. We can't just consume. We have to create. Take what you've consumed and make something of it. Take what you've consumed and make something of it. Why? Because. Answer. Answer that yourself. Don't ask me for the answer. I'm not gonna give it to you. You're consuming right now. Right? Make something. I just did. I made a frickin' video. And I didn't even have to. Because it's experience. Right? That's the only way to do it and get experience and actually live a life and have a character. Do things. Think. Don't just consume. You control your happiness, motherfucker. You do. Not the internet. Not some meme. Not some crap. Alright? Just... I'm not even telling you to put down your phone. I'm telling you to just ask questions and do things. You know, there's a study by teenagers where between the ages of like when they're like 12 and like 21 is when the brain is still developing, right? It's because there's a misconnection, a developing connection between their frontal cortex and whatever the deciding thing is. Like, because during this point in time, your brain is telling you to experience, telling you to go, to do things, because it's at this point in time where we want to learn, where we have to start getting away from the nest and doing things, doing stupid shit. The reason why more teenagers die from drowning accidents than any other age is because they're doing what teenagers do. It's tragic, right? But it's not a habit. We learn from that. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from doing things. We don't learn by watching other people do it. We all just lack massive character. And so we are addicted to people who are. And I hope one of them is me. Don't do anything. Keep watching. In fact, you should subscribe, donate to my Patreon, even though I don't have one. 12 people are going to see this. But it'll change 12 people's lives. Fucking probably not.